Yin Xiong has been captured. Wei Zhengqing's brow furrowed as he looked toward Uncle Lin, and then he spoke. Please, Manager Lin, explain in detail. Moreover, how did you come to know of this? Even Wei Siyue appeared equally concerned, looking toward Uncle Lin. Uncle Lin nodded and then said, It happened 2 days ago. A friend of mine returned from Blackshing Island and told me. He had seen Siyu and knew of the relationship between Yin Xiong and you all. My friend said that he happened to be on the scene at the time Yin Xiong was captured. According to my friend, while capturing Yin Xiong, the people of the Moon Demon sect also said you stole something belonging to their sect leader. After finishing, Uncle Lin looked at Wei Zhengqing with a puzzled expression. Clearly, Uncle Lin wasn't very clear about this matter. Wei Se then angrily said, They're talking nonsense. They are definitely framing my father. As for Wei Zhengqing, he did not offer further explanation. Afterwards, Uncle Lin did not stay for long before he left. Once Uncle Lin had gone, Lin Jing turned to Wei Zhengqing and asked, Brother Wei, the item they mentioned, what exactly is it that they are so concerned about? The reason why Lin Jing asked this was not because he suspected Wei Zhengqing of taking whatever it was from them. He would rather believe that Wei Zhengqing had something that the Moon Demon sect leader had been coveting all along. Curious, Lin Jing had to ask. However, after Lin Jing posed a question, Wei Zhengqing did not look particularly good. Then, Wei Zhengqing said to Lin Jing, Brother Lin, please come with me. Having said that, Wei Zhengqing consoled Wei Siyue for a bit, and then, taking Lin Jing, he headed toward the bedroom. Once in the bedroom, Wei Zhengqing spoke again. Brother Lin, what I'm about to tell you is very important. Would you please seal off this room first? At his words, Lin Jing nodded and then invoked his spiritual power to isolate the entire bedroom. After the room was sealed, Lin Jing looked at Wei Zhengqing and said, It's done. You can speak now, Brother Wei. Wei Zhengqing nodded and then began to speak. Actually, there is indeed something beside me that the Moon Demon sect leader has been longing for. Hearing this, Lin Jing couldn't help but feel puzzled about what it could be that the Moon Demon sect leader had been fixated on for so long. Perhaps sensing Lin Jing's confusion, Wei Zhengqing didn't delay and continued. What the Moon Demon sect leader wants is Siyu. More precisely, it's the Enlightenment elixir within Siyu's body. Enlightenment elixir? What is that? I've never come across it in any elixir books. Lin Jing asked in confusion, turning to Wei Zhengqing. Wei Zhengqing then began to explain. The Enlightenment elixir isn't produced through alchemy, but rather, it's the result of a divinity transformation stage or higher cultivator condensing their lifetime of insights when they're about to pass away, forming a fruit of the way. Because it is extremely similar to an elixir medicine, it's called an Enlightenment elixir. This elixir, when used by cultivators below the divinity transformation stage, can enhance their understanding of the heavenly way, allowing them to enter the divinity transformation stage more quickly. Especially for those at the nascent soul peak stage, the Enlightenment elixir is highly sought after. I'm sure you're aware, Brother Lin, that very few cultivators above divinity transformation naturally reach the end of their life and leave behind such an elixir. And even if they do, it's usually kept for their clan's descendants and seldom remains in the world. Therefore, the Enlightenment elixir is extremely precious. Upon hearing this, Lin Jing suddenly realized why the Moon Demon sect leader would pursue them so aggressively. With lingering questions, Lin Jing voiced a series of inquiries. If it's so precious, Brother Wei, how did you come by the Enlightenment elixir? And how did that bead end up inside Siyu's body? Wei Zhengqing then said, Brother Lin, do you recall the ruins I mentioned to you before? Lin Jing nodded and said, Of course I remember. Could it be that the Enlightenment elixir was found within those ruins? Wei Zhengqing nodded and said, Exactly. It was within those ruins that we obtained the Enlightenment elixir. Afterward, Wei Zhengqing began to recount the entire story of how it all began. Back then, Yin Xiong and I were cultivating and enhancing our power while traveling through the Northern Devil region. Everything was going smoothly until that day when a ruin was discovered, drawing many powers and cultivators towards it, including us. And it was precisely in those ruins where I met Ciyu's mother, Wan Shuang. The first time I saw her, truth be told, I was in disbelief. I never expected someone in this world could resemble Ningyu so closely. I couldn't help but take a few more glances at her, which unfortunately displeased her. Wei Zhengqing, immersed in his own world, recounted the details of his time with Luan Shuangyue. From their initial encounter to gradually getting to know each other, and eventually the two of them getting trapped together in a secret chamber within the ruins. It was in that secret chamber where we supported each other, came to understand one another, fell in love, and became intimate. Wei Zhengqing reminisced and narrated. The time we were trapped in that chamber could be said to be the happiest period of my life. There, she was no longer the holy maiden of the Moon Demon sect, and I had completely forgotten Ningyu. She was just herself, not a substitute for Ningyu. At this point, Wei Zhengqing suddenly turned his head, looked at Lin Jing, and asked, "Brother Lin, when you first heard the name Ciyu, did you think I was referring to Ningyu?" Lin Jing nodded and said, "At first, I indeed thought that way." Wei Zhengqing gave a bitter smile. Then his face filled with despondency. Actually, what I miss is Shuangyue." Lin Jing then fell silent, not knowing how to comfort Wei Zhengqing in the face of his situation. After that, Wei Zhengqing continued. It was later, during our numerous attempts to probe, that we found the mechanism to that secret chamber and discovered the Enlightenment elixir. By the time we found that mechanism, several months had passed, and Shuangyue was already pregnant. Who would have thought, when the Enlightenment elixir appeared, it caused quite a commotion, attracting the attention of many, and at that moment, it flew into Shuangyue's body, merging with the Ciyu inside her womb. The Enlightenment elixir is immeasurably precious, naturally drawing many to try to seize it, but since it had merged with Ciyu, it simply couldn't be taken out. If someone tried to extract it forcibly, not to mention whether the Enlightenment elixir would be affected, Ciyu would certainly die. With no other choice, we had to flee. Just at that time, the Moon Demon sect leader appeared and rescued us. As it got to this part, Wei Zhengqing's expression suddenly grew cold, and he said through clenched teeth, "Before that, I always heard Shuangyue talk about how this and that about the Moon Demon sect, and I really thought that the Moon Demon sect leader was different from the rest. And also, that Moon Demon sect leader was Shuangyue's mentor." Having said that, Wei Zhengqing shook his head helplessly and sighed. Shuangyue was too naive, too trusting of others. After tricking us into returning, at first, the Moon Demon sect leader was very caring toward Shuang. But as soon as he learned that the Enlightenment elixir could be forcefully extracted, he showed his true colors. Fortunately, thanks to my persuasion, Shuangyue took extra precautions, and we managed to escape before the Moon Demon sect leader could make a move. Just like that, we fled all the way to the demonic monster sea, and the Moon Demon sect leader, pursuing us, also came to the demonic monster sea. He is hiding from the attacks of other forces in the Northern Devil region while searching for us, wanting to get the Enlightenment elixir. Unfortunately, during our escape, we were still carelessly caught up by the people from the Moon Demon sect. It was during that incident that I was seriously injured, and Shuangyue, she died at the hands of the Moon Demon sect leader. When Shuangyue died, Ciyu was not yet a year old. We were always fleeing and hadn't even settled on a name. It was after that I named her Ciyu. With that, Wei Zhengqing stopped. Then he sighed. Originally, it should have been me who died. Shuangyue was too foolish. Saying this, Wei Zhengqing stared blankly ahead, lost in thought. Lin Jing stepped forward, placing a hand on Wei Zhengqing's shoulder, and then spoke. "Brother Wei, be strong." Lin Jing wanted to comfort Wei Zhengqing, but the words seemed stuck at the tip of his tongue. A moment later, Wei Zhengqing collected his thoughts, turned to Lin Jing with a smile, and said, "Brother Lin, it's fine. This is all years in the past, and I must start to slowly get used to it." Although Wei Zhengqing was smiling as he spoke these words, Lin Jing could see the bitterness in his smile. Following that, Wei Jingqing collected his emotions and then continued. The Enlightenment elixir is something the Moon Demon sect leader dares not reveal, which is exactly why he falsely claimed that we stole something from him. And we're also like that. If the Enlightenment elixir is exposed, I fear our situation will be even more dangerous, especially for CU. After hearing this, Lin Jing fell silent for a long while. Until after a long while, Lin Jing spoke. Perhaps we could think of another way to rescue Yin Xiong. Rescue him? Wei Jingqing was startled, then asked, how to rescue him? Lin Jing continued, naturally, I'll go for the rescue. Wei Jingqing immediately shook his head. No way. The Moon Demon sect leader's cultivation is extraordinary, and the great dream ancient mirror he possesses is also extremely formidable. Even though you, Brother Lin, are also at the nascent soul stage, it's simply impossible for you to be his match. Lin Jing then spoke, explaining, to rescue Yin Xiong, we don't necessarily have to confront the Moon Demon sect leader. We just need to avoid meeting him. That's all. Wei Jingqing then frowned and said, having caught Yin Xiong, their defenses will surely be extremely tight. Rescuing him will not be easy. What do you plan to do, Brother Lin? Lin Jing thought for a moment, then spoke. Lure the tiger away from the mountain. That's the method I can think of. In this task, I'm afraid it requires you to make a personal appearance. Wei Jingqing nodded. My involvement is naturally not a problem. Only, how should we operate this task? Brother Lin, could you explain it to me in detail? Lin Jing nodded, saying, of course, I'll explain it to you. But before that, I need to understand the current specific situation of the Moon Demon sect and Blackshing Island. Wei Jingqing nodded, then began. I know some about the situation of the Moon Demon sect. I can tell you right now. Currently, the Moon Demon sect has a total of 2 nascent souls. Wei Jingqing then told Lin Jing about the current situation of the Moon Demon sect, the strength of the Moon Demon sect leader, and various means at their disposal. After hearing this, Lin Jing also shared his plan with Wei Jingqing. To lure the tiger away from the mountain, Wei Jingqing, or even Wei Siyue, must take personal risks. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to achieve the effect of luring the tiger. While taking personal risks, they must also protect themselves. As it happened, Lin Jing had just the right conditions for that. That was the Shadow Escape flying boat. Whether it be flying speed or invisibility, the Shadow Escape flying boat was excellent. Once upon a time, Lin Jing had even managed to escape from the pursuit of the Black Shark Gang leader, who was at the Divinity Transformation stage, with the Shadow Escape flying boat. Let alone the Moon Demon sect leader who hadn't yet reached the Divinity Transformation stage. Since Wei Jingqing's golden core was sealed and he was unable to use spiritual power, they needed someone else to accompany him and pilot the flying boat. Yin had reached the 8th level of the golden core, which was just perfect. As for Lin Jing, he was responsible for going to Blackshing Island to rescue Yin Xiong. Lin Jing shared his intentions with Wei Jingqing. Wei Jingqing was hesitant, not wanting to involve Yin. Lin Jing then explained to Wei Jingqing and assured him that the Shadow Escape flying boat was absolutely reliable. Wei Jingqing reluctantly agreed. Of course, that was just one part of implementing the plan. Another was naturally to find out the specific situation on Blackshing Island, as well as to confirm Yin Xiong's current condition. This was also a must-do. If they intended to make a move, they definitely had to be fully prepared. After hearing this, Wei Jingqing also agreed with Lin Jing's proposal. Then, the two discussed for a while. After finishing their discussion, Lin Jing withdrew the spiritual power barrier, and the two walked out. When the two of them went out, the other 3 left and came over. Wei Siyue took the lead, asking, Daddy, Uncle Yin has been captured. What are we planning to do? Wei Jingqing reached out, stroked Wei Siyue's head, then began. I've already discussed with your Uncle Lin. We're preparing to rescue your Uncle Yin. Really? That's great. Wei Siyue cheered up instantly. Yin also spoke up at this time, asking, Master, is there anything I can help with? Lin Jing looked at Yi Yun and replied, There's indeed something I need your help with. Master, please tell me. Yin looked at Lin Jing and spoke directly. Over this period, become familiar with the shadow escape flying boat with me. We'll need it later. Yes, master, Yin replied without any hesitation. At that moment, Lin Ju also chimed in. Brother, what about me? Is there anything I need to do? You? Lin Jing assessed Lin Ju, then said, Your task is quite important. What task? Brother, tell me quickly. Lin Ju, not at all worried but rather excited, urged him on. Lin Jing then said, Your task is to stay at home and take care of Siyu, keep her company. Lin Ju's expression instantly became froze, and after a moment, she looked up at Lin Jing with a suspicious face. Brother, are you serious? Lin Jing nodded solemnly and said to Lin Ju, Yes, your task is to stay at home and keep Siyu company, and to watch over her carefully. And the crucial part is you can't let her wander around. After speaking, seeing that Lin Ju was still very confused, Lin Jing asked Wei Zhengqing, and having obtained his consent, he shared Wei Zhengqing's current predicament with both Lin Ju and Yi Yun. After finishing, Lin Jing added, Now that Wei brothers' whereabouts have been exposed, it's very likely that some people might harm Siyu. Although we are in Bihai City, someone might use other methods to lure her out, so we have to be vigilant. After hearing this, Lin Ju became earnest. In the beginning, Lin Ju was lured out of Bihai City in just this way. Now that Lin Jing had said this, she was naturally extremely cautious. Afterward, Lin Ju nodded and said to Lin Jing, I understand, brother. I will definitely protect Siyu. Lin Jing nodded, and then he shared with Lin Ju and Yi Yun the plan they had discussed earlier. This time the plan involved Lin Jing entering Black Xing Island in advance to find out the specific situation there. If the defense on Black Xing Island was not tight and the Moon Demon Sect leader was not present, Lin Jing would take action and rescue Yin Xiong. But if the defense on Black Xing Island was strict and no opportunity for action was found, then he would bring back the information he had gathered without making a move. After learning the situation, Wei Zhengqing would leave Bihai City openly, drawing the attention of the Moon Demon Sect. Once Wei Zhengqing left Bihai City, the Moon Demon Sect leader would definitely send someone to capture him. At that time, the role of the Shadow Escape flying boat would become evident. With it, no one else could possibly catch up, only he would have to take action personally. Meanwhile, Lin Jing could take this opportunity to enter Black Xing Island and rescue Yin Xiong. In fact, Lin Jing had considered taking direct action against the Moon Demon Sect leader. If it came to real combat, Lin Jing was not inferior to the Moon Demon Sect leader, even though he was at the nascent Soul Peak stage. The only thing Lin Jing was wary of was the Great Dream Ancient Mirror in his possession. Lin Jing had thought about wearing the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe to see if he could forcibly seize the Great Dream Ancient Mirror from the opponent. However, the Great Dream Ancient Mirror was a magical treasure-level artifact, while the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe was merely a Dao-level magical treasure. The gap between the two was too great. To try to use it to forcibly take away the magical, treasure-level Great Dream Ancient Mirror. Frankly, Lin Jing was not confident. Moreover, Wei Zhengqing was strongly opposed and did not allow Lin Jing to take risks. So, after giving it some thought, Lin Jing abandoned the idea, preferring to proceed with caution. Afterward, they thought of several more strategies for other contingencies. Like this, the group discussed for more than an hour before they finally finished. After the discussion was over, Lin Jing immediately left with Yi Yun to head for Black Xing Island to investigate Yin Xiong's current state. The reason for bringing Yi Yun along was firstly to familiarize him with the Shadow Escape flying boat. Secondly, after investigating Yin Xiong's condition, Yi Yun could also steer the flying boat back and prepare to start executing the plan. After leaving the house, Lin Jing and Yi Yun changed their appearances, each disguising themselves. Because of his naturally sturdy build, Yi Yun dressed up as a brawny man. As for Lin Jing, he donned the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe, posing as a frail Taoist. Afterward, the two of them left the city. Having left Bihai City and just off the shores of Bihai Island, Lin Jing brought out the Shadow Escape flying boat and had Yiyun pilot it towards Black Xing Island. Since Yiyun seldom went out before, and even then rarely piloted a flying boat, he was not quite used to steering it at the beginning. The flying boat even zigzagged as it took off. In the seas near Bihai City, there were quite a number of cultivators coming and going. In just a short time, many had witnessed this scene. Yiyun's piloting skills drew a fair amount of laughter from those who saw. Some were even envious. After all, the flying boat seemed extremely precious and not something ordinary cultivators could afford. Surely it belonged to some powerhouse's offspring out on a trial, being taught how to operate a flying boat by an elder from their family. Lin Jing originally had no intention to bother with these people and wanted to just leave, but among those laughing, Lin Jing spotted two individuals. These two were the Moon Demon Sect cultivators who had spotted Wei Siyue at Fong Market earlier. When Lin Jing saw them, he didn't hurry to depart, but instead had Yiyun practice more right there. At this moment, the two Moon Demon Sect disciples standing in the sea were utterly unaware that a divine sense was monitoring their every move. One of the Moon Demon Sect cultivators, watching the zigzagging flying boat, spoke to the bald man. "Brother Bao, look at that. Who knows which family's fool is out there, not even knowing how to steer a flying boat?" The bald man, studying the flying boat, had an unsettled expression on his face. After a while, he spoke to the Moon Demon Sect cultivator. "Stop watching. Even if he's a fool, with a powerful family backing him, he's stronger than us. How is that like us? Forget it. Let's not talk about it." The bald man clearly harbored a deep resentment. The other Moon Demon Sect cultivator, seeing the bald man like this, quickly spoke up, asking, "Brother Bao, are you still dissatisfied with the arrangement the sect hierarch has given us?" The bald man was filled with righteous indignation, and then he spoke. "We helped him find that fugitive, and it's fine that we didn't get any reward, but he even wants us to run back and forth, continue to come back to do this crappy task. You say it's fine to monitor Wei Zhengqing, but to even have us watch a little girl. What does he take us for? Nannies?" At this, the other person nodded repeatedly, saying, "Yes. Didn't the sect hierarch also say to try to find a way to lure that girl out and then kidnap her back?" As he said this, the Moon Demon Sect cultivator paused for a moment, then continued. "Brother Bao, wasn't there news before, saying that the reason the Holy Maiden fled was because of a sacred object? Do you think that treasure might be on that little girl?" The bald man thought for a moment after hearing this, then said, "I know about the Holy Maiden's defection, but the sect hierarch never said why, only that she left the sect for a man. However, it's hard to say with the sect hierarch. If you put it that way, it's indeed possible that there's some precious treasure on Wei Zhengqing. As for what you mentioned being on that girl, don't joke around. If it really were a treasure, would you entrust it to a little girl?" After hearing the bald man's analysis, the Moon Demon Sect disciple nodded in agreement, saying, "That makes sense. Indeed, if there's any precious treasure, it would definitely be safest kept with oneself." At this point, the bald man sighed and then spoke. "Alas, forget it. Ever since the Holy Maiden left the sect hierarch has become increasingly unpredictable. If we don't handle this matter well, our fate won't be good." The other Moon Demon Sect cultivator nodded repeatedly. "Yeah, we can't afford to anger the sect hierarch now, or we'll certainly be dead." Finally, the bald man took one last look at the flying boat, then said to the other Moon Demon Sect cultivator, "Let's go, don't look anymore. We still need to hurry and complete the mission." "All right." The other Moon Demon Sect cultivator spoke. After speaking, the two left the area and flew towards Bihai City. When the two had left, Lin Jing directly said to Yiyun, "All right, let's go." Yiyun nodded. Then piloting the flying boat, they disappeared in a wisp of smoke. This left the other cultivators who were there for the spectacle staring blankly. A moment later, those cultivators, feeling like they'd been fooled, all left cursing and swearing as they rode their flying swords. After leaving, and having flown a good distance, only when they reached a deserted sea area, did Yi Yun speak again. Master, what are they talking about just now? Lin Ju and Sister C you won't be in any trouble, will they? Yi Yun, although he had discovered those two people, had not extended his divine sense to eavesdrop on their conversation. Yi Yun's cultivation was not much different from theirs, so it could easily be exposed, and thus this task could only be done by Lin Jing. Lin Jing then spoke to Yi Yun. We guessed right. Those two were sent to monitor. So, it's just as we thought. Yi Yun frowned as he spoke. Lin Jing nodded and said, It seems our plan also needs to be expedited. With the speed of the Shadow Escape flying boat, it took only half a day for the two of them to arrive at Black Shing Island. Upon reaching Black Shing Island, Lin Jing noticed that, as usual, the island was still engaged in human trafficking. Initially, after the Black Shark Gang was annihilated, Black Shing Island fell into decline for a time. However, eventually, the rumors died down. The person who had wiped out the Black Shark Gang hadn't made any further moves. Thus, others started to eye Black Shing Island once more. After all, the island was previously famous for its human trafficking. It would be easier to redevelop the business there. Consequently, several nearby powers began utilizing various methods to compete for control of Black Shing Island. But, to their surprise, just when their competition was at its fiercest, the abruptly strong emergence of the Moon Demon sect took over the island. As for the other powers, though unwilling to concede, the Moon Demon sect leader proved to be extremely troublesome, especially with the Great Dream Ancient Mirror, a Dao Bao, in hand. That cost those powers dearly. Naturally, these powers were not content, so they spread the news of the sect leader having the Dao Bao. Once this information was leaked, divine transformation cultivators turned green with envy and wanted to snatch it. However, the Moon Demon sect leader, already at the nascent soul peak stage and on the verge of achieving divinity transformation, coupled with the Great Dream Ancient Mirror in his possession, was more than a match for those cultivators. The cultivators aiming to steal from him took a loss. Even when faced with established divinity transformation old monsters, the sect leader, if somewhat outmatched, could still easily escape from their clutches. It was said that unless a cultivator of the flesh incarnate stage intervened, no one could take the Great Dream Ancient Mirror from the hands of the sect leader. But how many cultivators of the flesh incarnate stage are there? Lin Jing only knew of the Lord of Beihai City. He had no clue about any others. And the Lord of Beihai City had gone into seclusion after the Black Shark incident and had not appeared since. Therefore, as things had progressed to this point, no cultivator even thought about challenging the sect leader any longer. Black Shing Island was business as usual, but the defense had become much more rigorous compared to before. The entire perimeter of Black Shing Island was surrounded by a fifth-rank formation. Within the city, multiple fifth-rank formations were combined to form a near sixth-rank trap-killing formation. Black Shing Island could be said to be as impregnable as a fortress now. Looking at Black Stench City ahead, formerly known as Black Shark City, Lin Jing was lost in thought. After pondering for a moment, Lin Jing, accompanied by Yi Yun, walked into the city. Once inside Black Stench City, the interior did not differ much from before, but it was evident that all buildings had been newly constructed. They seemed to have been built quite some time ago. Presumably, this must have been the handiwork of Han Bingyin's master. When Han Bingyin was sold to Black Shing Island, as her master, it was understandable not to show any mercy. Destroying the Black Shark Gang, and incidentally this island, was justifiable. After entering Black Stench City, Lin Jing and Yi Yun split up to gather information about Yin Xiong's whereabouts. At the same time, Lin Jing was also looking into whether the Moon Demon sect leader was on Black Shing Island. Not long after, even before an hour had passed, and Lin Jing had not yet found any leads, Yin had already received some news. It turned out that just before their arrival, the Moon Demon sect leader had taken Yin Xiong and left Black Shing Island directly, and the direction of their departure was precisely towards Beihai City. Lin Jing had just missed them by chance. After receiving this information, Lin Jing could not help but frown, unable to understand what the Moon Demon sect leader was planning. However, since he left with Yin Xiong in tow, heading in the direction of Beihai City. Everything became clear. It seemed that he might be going to Beihai City personally to find Wei Zhengqing. Lin Jing could not afford to think any further and quickly left Black Shing Island with Yi Yin. They then boarded the flying boat and sped towards Beihai City. Lin Jing was worried about Wei Zhengqing. Wei Zhengqing's loyalty was his strength, but it was also a weakness others could exploit. If the sect leader indeed used Yin Xiong's life as a threat, Lin Jing could not guarantee that Wei Zhengqing would remain rational. Lin Jing had no doubt that under such circumstances, Wei Zhengqing might very well leave his daughter behind and face the threat alone. This situation had gone beyond their expectations. In their original plan, since the sect leader possessed the Dao Bao, he would not dare to approach Beihai City at all. At most, he might spread rumors to lure Wei Zhengqing out of Beihai City and into his trap. But unexpectedly, he took the initiative himself and went to Beihai City. This completely disrupted the plan Lin Jing and the others had laid out. And Lin Jing had to rush back immediately lest any accidents occur. Subsequently, Lin Jing piloted the flying boat, taking Yi Yin with him, rushing toward Beihai City. Throughout the journey, Lin Jing controlled the flying boat at high speed, while extending his divine sense to probe the outside world. He was also searching for traces of the Moon Demon sect leader, as well as Yin Xiong. The actions of the Moon Demon sect leader were truly inscrutable, actually taking Yin Xiong to Beihai City at this critical juncture. Could it be that he was intending to go to Beihai City himself to capture Wei Zhengqing and his daughter? But had he not already sent people to Beihai City? Why then, after that, did he need to go there himself? Lin Jing couldn't fathom it. Therefore, Lin Jing could only hurry back, planning to intercept him before he could return to Beihai City. All the way, to avoid missing them, Lin Jing kept his divine sense deployed, exploring while progressing. Although Lin Jing's cultivation was now at the 7th layer of nascent soul, his divine sense had already reached the degree of the nascent soul peak stage. At this level, no matter what method was used, it couldn't be improved further, unless Lin Jing advanced to the stage of divinity transformation. Only then could his divine sense continue to refine and enhance further. Thus, as the two journeyed on, when passing by a body of water, Lin Jing suddenly stopped. Yi Yin, puzzled, asked Lin Jing, "Master, what happened?" Lin Jing then frowned and said, "I found their traces." "Ah, on this sea?" Yi Yin was somewhat confused. Lin Jing shook his head and replied, "No, it's a small island. Let's go, we'll head over." Having said this, Lin Jing changed direction and flew towards that small island. At this moment, on a small island in the sea, there was a middle-aged man whose face bore signs of aging, and a robust man, both staying there. The middle-aged man's countenance was gloomy, sitting cross-legged on the ground, surrounded by demonic qi. In front of him was a simple-looking bronze mirror. The middle-aged man's demonic qi surged, continuously pouring into the ancient mirror, unknowable in his intentions. The robust man, on the other hand, lay prostrate on the ground, his body enveloped and bound by a strand of demonic qi. However, despite being bound, the robust man never ceased to be unruly with his words. "Old fellow, if you have the guts, then kill me." A cultivator at the nascent soul peak stage, actually using such despicable methods. Truly shameless. "Shut up." The middle-aged man's face turned a shade of iron blue as he suddenly snapped. "Don't think that I don't dare to kill you. Then come on. If I'm scared, I'll be your grandson." The bound robust man continued to taunt relentlessly. However, the middle-aged man just gave the robust man a glance and no longer paid attention to him. At that moment, the surface of the bronze mirror was swirling with dark red demonic qi. This demonic qi was entirely different from that of the middle-aged man, and the red demonic qi seemed to be contending with the black demonic qi of the man. Seeing that the middle-aged man was ignoring him, the robust man grew even more arrogant. "Dream on if you think you can use me against my brother. Old fellow, if you have the guts, just kill me. If not, then you're raising me." Upon hearing this, The middle-aged man could no longer hold back. Swinging his palm outwards, a bowl-thick strand of demonic chi bursting forth towards the robust man. However, upon seeing the demonic chi approaching, the robust man didn't show fear, but instead struggled to stand, laughing wildly as he threw himself forward. "Ha ha! Good, Brother Wei. Having you as a brother in this life, I am content. I'll go ahead." Yet, after releasing the demonic chi, the middle-aged man, whose eyes were blood-red looking at the robust man, suddenly had a flash of black demonic chi in his eyes. And at that moment, the middle-aged man's expression changed abruptly, and he hastily waved his hand. The demonic chi that was originally rushing towards the robust man suddenly turned at an angle, brushing past him instead. The demonic chi that brushed past lightly flung the robust man into the air. The robust man spun around several times in midair before crashing down more than a dozen meters away, face planting into the sand. Tui, Tui. The robust man was tough, shrugging off the fall with no harm done. The mouthful of sand was in fact the biggest injury he received. Bleg, bleg. After clearing out the deepest sand from his mouth, the robust man couldn't help but retch a couple more times. "If you want to kill me, then kill me. Or is this your way of playing with me now?" Meanwhile, the middle-aged man, his face still a ghastly blue, shouted at the robust man. "Shut up." At that moment, the surface of the ancient bronze mirror gathered red demonic chi, slowly forming the semblance of a human face. The middle-aged man continued to use black demonic chi to suppress the face on the ancient mirror. As soon as the face appeared, it slowly dissipated under the suppression of the black demonic chi. However, barely had the face vanished before it began slowly to reform. In this way, it was a ceaseless cycle. At this time, the middle-aged man stared intently at the ancient mirror, his eyes blood red, and with clenched teeth, he said word by word to the ancient mirror in front of him. Caught in this moment, he could no longer afford to pay attention to the robust man. Just then, out of nowhere, a flying boat appeared near the island. Following the appearance of the flying boat, its cabin door swung open. Next, a slender Taoist clad in a yellow robe stepped out from inside the flying boat. After the Taoist walked out, he stepped forward and disappeared on the spot. When he reappeared, the skinny Taoist was directly above the small island, right in front of the bound, burly man. This skinny Taoist was none other than Lin Jing, who had changed his appearance and disguised himself. Lin Jing approached the burly man, who was now looking up at him with a dumbfounded expression. Clearly, the burly man was taken aback by Lin Jing's arrival and didn't understand what was happening. Lin Jing waved his hand and a stream of Wu Tsai light shot out, dispersing the demonic chi that bound the burly man. The restraints on the burly man were instantly released, and he regained his composure. However, just as the burly man's restraints were released, a voice came. "Fellow Taoist, isn't it a bit much for you to appear here and rescue my enemy?" The man who spoke was the middle-aged man who had been contending with the ancient mirror before. While fighting the ancient mirror, the middle-aged man also had to spare some divine sense to pay attention to the situation with Lin Jing. For a moment, in the struggle against the ancient mirror, the middle-aged man actually started to fall behind. Then, the demonic face formed by demonic chi in the ancient mirror gathered again, emitting a creepy laugh. Don't you want my power? Why do you keep resisting me? Shut up. You just want to possess me. Don't think I don't know." The middle-aged man roared, veins popping on his forehead as he sped up the circulation of his demonic techniques, gathering more demonic chi to suppress the ancient mirror. "Thank you, Senior, for your rescue." At this point, the sturdy man quickly clasped his fists in thanks to Lin Jing. Lin Jing ignored the middle-aged man and looked at the sturdy man, then asked, "Yin Xiong?" As soon as Lin Jing spoke, the sturdy man was momentarily stunned. After a pause, Yin Xiong came to his senses and looked at Lin Jing with confusion. "Senior, do you know me?" The sturdy man was indeed Yin Xiong, whom Lin Jing recognized, and the middle-aged man, looking somewhat aged, was the Moon Demon sect leader. However, The state of the Moon Demon sect leader didn't seem to be very good. Not wanting to reveal his identity at this time, Lin Jing then directly said, "Someone asked me to rescue you. Of course I know you. Someone entrusted you to rescue me." When Yin Xiong heard it was an entrustment, he became even more puzzled. Previously, he had adventured with Wei Zhengqing, and the number of people they had met was not many. Moreover, this person was a nascent soul, true monarch. Yin Xiong looked at Lin Jing, his thoughts racing. After deliberating for a while, Yin Xiong then gave up. Other than Wei Zheng, he couldn't think of anyone else who would come to rescue him. Yet Wei Zheng's current situation seemed unlikely. Seeing Yin Xiong's confusion, Lin Jing then spoke directly. "Don't think about it anymore. That person's surname is Wei." Upon hearing Lin Jing's words, Yin Xiong was even more shocked. Yin Xiong was dumbfounded and blurted out, "It's actually old Wei. When did he get such power?" Of course, the Moon Demon sect leader also caught wind of their conversation. The middle-aged man, now getting the upper hand against the ancient mirror, found the energy to look at Lin Jing again, while frowning deeply. "Fellow Taoist, are you intending to oppose my Moon Demon sect?" Lin Jing looked towards the Moon Demon sect leader and then replied, "I'm simply fulfilling a commission." After speaking, Lin Jing no longer paid attention to the Moon Demon sect leader, but turned his head and asked Yin Xiong, "What happened to him, do you know?" At that moment, the situation with the Moon Demon sect leader was unclear, and the red demonic chi leaking from the ancient mirror seemed even more concentrated than the Moon Demon sect leader's own, which was very troubling. Seeing this situation, Lin Jing naturally didn't act recklessly, so he asked Yin Xiong directly. Yin Xiong, having been brought along by the Moon Demon sect leader, must surely know something. "Senior," Yin Xiong replied immediately upon hearing Lin Jing's question. "That person is the Moon Demon sect leader, and the one he is fighting is his magical treasure, the Great Dream Ancient Mirror." The Great Dream Ancient Mirror is very strange. It seems to contain a very powerful remnant soul that wants to possess the Moon Demon sect leader. A remnant soul? Lin Jing then turned his head to look at the Great Dream Ancient Mirror. At this moment, the aura emanating from the Great Dream Ancient Mirror grew stronger again, and a series of demonic voices entered Lin Jing's ears, while Lin Jing's eyes were caught by the dazzling brilliance of the Great Dream Ancient Mirror, which seemed extremely enticing. "Do you want power? With me, you can have endless power. Come, strike, attack him. As long as you make a move, I will be yours." The demonic voice, clear as it was to Lin Jing's ears, barely registered as an influence before Lin Jing's powerful divine sense shattered it upon entry into his sea of consciousness. The Great Dream Ancient Mirror barely affected Lin Jing, not even for a moment. The mirror was indeed too bizarre. However, while the Great Dream Ancient Mirror's attention was on Lin Jing, the Moon Demon sect leader contending with it was not faring well. "Do you know what this demonic mirror is? If you dare attack me now, we both will die." The Moon Demon sect leader hastily spoke out, warning Lin Jing. And Yin Xiong also timely added, "Senior, that Great Dream Ancient Mirror is too strange. We really shouldn't attack it now." Before, the Moon Demon sect leader was influenced by the Great Dream Ancient Mirror to do many unthinkable things. This time also, he originally intended to take me directly to Beihai City, but suddenly awoke on the way and started to fight against the Great Dream Ancient Mirror. Upon hearing this, Lin Jing nodded. Then he turned around and said to the Moon Demon sect leader, "I believe you're already clear about why I am here. As long as you hand over the method to release the Azure Gold Core demonic pattern that imprisons Wei Zhengqing, I will not attack you. How about it?" At this time, Yin Xiong also came to his senses and directly spoke to the Moon Demon sect leader. "Right, my brother Wei was injured by you, so you must know how to heal him. Hand over that healing method, otherwise I don't mind perishing together with you." Hearing the two men's words, the Moon Demon sect leader's eyebrows knitted tightly. He glanced at Lin Jing and Yin Xiong before speaking. "Fine." After saying this, the Moon Demon sect leader took out a book and a jade bottle from his space ring and, with a flick of his wrist, sent the book and jade bottle flying toward Lin Jing. Lin Jing reached out and called them to him, and the book and jade bottle flew into his hands. Seeing that the book and jade bottle were safely in Lin Jing's hands, the Moon Demon sect leader said, "That demon elixir in the jade bottle is the antidote. If you do not believe me, look at the book. It has detailed records." Upon hearing this, Lin Jing first opened the book to inspect it carefully. The book truly contained records of a secret technique for imprisoning a golden core with a demonic pattern. Moreover, it also recorded the method to release that technique. After examining the book, Lin Jing then opened the jade bottle. Inside the jade bottle, 3 elixir medicines lay at the bottom. The elixir medicines' exterior was transparent, but inside them, black demonic qi continuously circulated. This elixir medicine matched exactly with the antidote described in the book. At this point, Yin Xiong also came over. Seeing this, Lin Jing immediately handed over the book and jade bottle. "You have a look too." Yin Xiong took the book and the elixir medicine from Lin Jing, poured out the demon elixir medicines to inspect them first by smelling, then by examining them closely. After a while, Yin Xiong completed his inspection. Having finished, excitement was evident on Yin Xiong's face as he again opened the book. He flipped directly to the last few pages of the book. Soon, Yin Xiong finished reading. With a slap, he closed the book. Then, excitedly, he said to Lin Jing, "Senior, yes, this is indeed the antidote. It matches the information I had learned earlier. Had I not been trying to confirm this information, I would not have been captured." Lin Jing then looked at Yin Xiong with suspicion and asked, "Are you sure? Is there any possibility that the information was a trap specifically set for you?" Lin Jing's words left Yin Xiong speechless. Indeed, he was captured because of the news about the antidote. And now, the fact that the Moon Demon sect leader produced this demon elixir was naturally highly suspicious. Lin Jing's skepticism made the Moon Demon sect leader uncomfortable. He was already struggling to deal with the remnant soul inside the great dream, ancient mirror. And now, he had to divide his attention to keep an eye on Lin Jing and the other man. This added pressure to the Moon Demon sect leader as he saw the red demonic qi forming a face inside the great dream, ancient mirror, about to gather once more. The Moon Demon sect leader, with cold eyes looking toward the two men, spoke directly. "This antidote is absolutely real. I have no need to create trouble for myself at this time. If you do not believe it and insist on making trouble now, then I can only let go and perish together with you." Lin Jing looked at the Moon Demon sect leader, who was still struggling to resist the remnants of the soul within the great dream, ancient mirror. But the expression on his face was very solemn, not at all like that of a liar. After a moment of thought, Lin Jing turned to the Moon Demon sect leader and said, "Swear by your soul spirit, and I will believe you." Upon hearing this, the Moon Demon sect leader's expression immediately turned cold. Then he looked at Lin Jing and said icily, "Do you want to die? If I get distracted and fail to suppress this remnant soul in the mirror, we will all die." Lin Jing looked at the Moon Demon sect leader with an indifferent expression and said directly, "If that's the case, then let go. If you can't even make a vow, I really can't believe the authenticity of this antidote." "You?" The Moon Demon sect leader glared at Lin Jing in anger. However, this moment of distraction allowed the red demonic qi in the mirror to grow stronger again, forming a human face. Keep fighting. I love conflicts the most." After speaking, the remnant soul in the mirror tempted the Moon Demon sect leader. "What do you think? Do you want my help to deal with him first?" Under the influence of the red demonic qi, the Moon Demon sect leader's eyes also became redder. "Shut up." The Moon Demon sect leader roared angrily, then clenched his teeth and started operating his cultivation technique with all his might. Immediately, black demonic qi surged around him, suppressing the red demonic qi once more. As the remnant soul was suppressed, the redness in the Moon Demon sect leader's eyes receded somewhat. Perhaps because he was fully focused on suppressing the remnant soul, The bloodshot in his eyes still had not faded. After that, the Moon Demon sect leader took out a jade bottle from his space ring and threw it to Lin Jing. Lin Jing caught it straight away. Then, Lin Jing opened it to examine. Inside the jade bottle, there were still 3 elixir medicines, and within these 3 elixir medicines, demonic qi was also flowing. What was different from the previous 3 elixir medicines was that these 3 had black demonic patterns on their surface. Moreover, these black demonic patterns were exactly the same as those on Wei Jingqing's golden core. After examining the elixir medicines, Lin Jing looked up at the Moon Demon sect leader. The Moon Demon sect leader clearly understood what Lin Jing meant, first let out a cold snort, and then made a vow with his soul spirit. Hearing the Moon Demon sect leader swear by his soul spirit, both Lin Jing and Yin Xiong relaxed immediately. Then, Lin Jing threw the antidote to Yin Xiong, who, upon receiving it, carefully cradled it in his palm. Lin Jing, on the other hand, gestured towards the flying boat. Following that, the door of the flying boat opened, and Yi Yin stepped out from within. At this moment, like Lin Jing, Yi Yin was in disguise and did not show his true face. Seeing Yi Yin come out from the flying boat, the Moon Demon sect leader merely glanced at him casually before paying him no further attention. Yi Yin approached Lin Jing and said with a bow, "Master." Lin Jing nodded his head, then said directly to Yi Yin, "Take Yin Xiong and leave first." As soon as Lin Jing finished speaking, Yin Xiong quickly turned his head and asked with confusion, "Elder, aren't you leaving too?" Lin Jing replied, "You two take the antidote back first. I'll watch him here. After you leave, I'll go." Upon hearing this, the Moon Demon sect leader suppressed the anger in his heart and looked at Lin Jing with a frown, asking, "I've already given you the antidote. Why aren't you leaving? Could it be that you're planning to take advantage of this opportunity to make a move against me?" Hearing the words of the Moon Demon sect leader, even Yi Yun looked at Lin Jing with confusion. Logically speaking, with the antidote in hand and the Moon Demon sect leader still confronting the remnant soul in the ancient mirror, it was the best time to leave. It was really not a good idea to linger any longer. After all, no matter what, the Moon Demon sect leader was a cultivator at the nascent soul peak stage, while Lin Jing was only at the nascent soul late stage. If Lin Jing faced him, it really wasn't certain that he could gain the upper hand. Furthermore, there was also the remnant soul in the ancient mirror. If the Moon Demon sect leader were to become desperate, and the two reached some kind of agreement to join forces, then Lin Jing would likely be in even greater trouble. So, the best course of action right now was naturally to leave immediately. But Lin Jing remained unmoved and looked at the Moon Demon sect leader, saying, "I am afraid that you will take this opportunity to make a move against us." After speaking, Lin Jing said to Yi Yun, "Go." Following Lin Jing's words, Yi Yun nodded, and then, with still a puzzled look on his face, Yin Xiong followed Yi Yun towards the flying boat. But just at that moment, the Moon Demon sect leader suddenly launched an attack without any warning. The Great Dream Ancient Mirror, which had been confronting the Moon Demon sect leader, suddenly lit up. Lin Jing also sensed something and hastily warned, "Be careful," but it was ultimately a step too late. Immediately after, a red beam of light reflected off the mirror surface. Its speed was just too fast. As soon as it appeared, it directly shone on Yi Yun and Yin Xiong, who were walking, and after being hit by the light, they suddenly became stunned, standing still. And the beam of light did not stop after hitting Yi Yun and Yin Xiong. It swept directly towards Lin Jing. Lin Jing had reacted the moment the light reflected, and although the light was fast, Lin Jing was not slow either. As the light swept towards him, Lin Jing had already vanished from his original spot, retreating out of the light's range. At this moment, the Moon Demon sect leader's eyes were blood red, and with a ferocious expression, he sneered, "You think you can dodge the attack of the Great Dream, Ancient Mirror?" Daydreaming. As the Moon Demon sect leader finished speaking, the Great Dream, Ancient Mirror suddenly changed dramatically, and then it lit up with a blinding light. Lin Jing tried to dodge, but the light enveloped the entire world, leaving him nowhere to hide as a beam struck him directly. "Xiao Jing, wake up! The sun has set. Come and eat." A familiar voice reached his ears. Lin Jing, groggy, opened his eyes. Even though he had opened his eyes, perhaps due to the long sleep, everything in front of him was still somewhat blurry. Even his head felt heavy and foggy. Following that, Lin Jing turned his head toward the direction from which the voice had come. He saw a figure that seemed long unseen, yet strikingly familiar, approaching slowly. Upon seeing this figure, Lin Jing suddenly jolted, and then the things before his eyes started to come into focus. "Grandpa," Lin Jing spoke with a mix of confusion and an array of other emotions. The kindly old man walking toward him was his own grandfather. Seeing his grandfather, Lin Jing's eyes unexpectedly moistened. He felt he had been dreaming a very long dream. Lin Jing quickly turned around to take a look around. Surrounding him was a wall built of stones, not very high, and above his head was a thick willow tree, its branches hanging down, rustling familiarly in the breeze. And beneath him, the rocking chair, a tad uncomfortable, was Grandpa's throne. Behind Grandpa was a deep red evening sky, the old house, and the chimney blackened with smoke, from which wisps of cooking smoke rose slowly. "You've slept half the day. The sun is already set. Grandma is cooking. It'll be ready soon. Were you so sleepy today because you were up last night reading your comic books in secret again?" The elder rambled as he walked toward Lin Jing. When he came close, perhaps noticing something was off with Lin Jing, Grandpa quickly spoke up, asking, "What's wrong? Have you been crying?" "Xiao Jing, be good, don't cry. Grandpa won't scold you anymore. If you like reading comics, then read them. I'll go to the market and buy you a few more," Grandpa said, coming close to Lin Jing, extending his rough hand and gently wiping Lin Jing's eyes. Lin Jing then reached out to touch the palm made coarse by years of labor. "Grandpa, I just had a very long dream. In the dream, I became a celestial being and experienced a lot. So much." Grandpa laughed heartily. "Huh, becoming a celestial being is good. If Xiao Jing becomes a celestial being, bring back a celestial wife for me and your grandmother to see." Lin Jing then hung his head, his mood low as he said. But in that dream, Grandpa and Grandma were both gone already. Grandpa reached out his hand to pat Lin Jing's head and then spoke up. "Foolish boy, there will come a day, eventually, when you'll have to part with Grandpa and Grandma. Don't be disheartened. No matter where you are, your grandma and I will be watching over you." Lin Jing's body was now, just like when he was a child, somewhat frail and not very tall, not even reaching Grandpa's chest. Lin Jing lifted his head to look at the familiar aged face and suddenly threw himself into Grandpa's arms. Lin Jing looked at Grandpa about to speak, but at that moment, a voice interrupted Lin Jing. "Warning! Danger is approaching the host. Please respond promptly." The system alert, however, came at this moment. As the system alert sounded, the scene before Lin Jing began to distort, and countless memories surged back into his mind. And it was then that Lin Jing realized, so this is entering a dream. At this moment, as the dream was about to end, the surrounding environment began to warp. Even Grandpa began to blur. Lin Jing knew this illusion was about to disappear. Afterward, Lin Jing quickly moved past Grandpa, running towards the kitchen ahead, while Grandpa, turning around, called out after him, "Little Jing, where are you going?" Without looking back, Lin Jing directly spoke, "I'm going to check on Grandma." While calling out, Lin Jing didn't stop his feet, running towards the kitchen. And the entire scene grew even more blurred, clearly indicating that he was about to completely awaken. And the kitchen was now right before his eyes. Lin Jing could even see the blurry figure that was busy. "Grandma," Lin Jing called out, and that figure seemed to have heard him, turning around. Although it was blurred, Lin Jing could still feel the kind smile. Just at that moment, the dreamscape shattered. Before Lin Jing's eyes, the scene shifted again, revealing a towering black sword formed of demonic qi, plunging towards him. Behind a massive sword was the Moon Demon sect leader, his eyes blood-red and face ferociously twisted. By the time the giant sword reached Lin Jing, he had no means of escape. However, looking at the massive sword, Lin Jing showed no panic, his face calm, and even a hint of disappointment in his eyes. When the sword struck where Lin Jing stood, a golden light reflected off him. At the same time, the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe on his body emitted a burst of intense light, blocking the sword's strike in its entirety. Following that, in the astonished gaze of the Moon Demon sect leader, the massive sword that struck Lin Jing actually shattered, and Lin Jing was unharmed. How did you wake up so quickly? And what kind of magical treasure is that robe you're wearing to leave you completely unscathed? After speaking, the Moon Demon sect leader looked at Lin Jing warily. Could it be that you were prepared all along, knowing I would sneak attack you? Lin Jing looked at the Moon Demon sect leader, then replied, "Isn't a sneak attack quite normal?" As he spoke, Lin Jing released a burst of spiritual power from his hand, striking Yi Yun and Yin Xiong. The two suddenly came to their senses. Upon awakening, Yi Yun and Yin Xiong first looked confused for a moment, but then broke out into a cold sweat. Just now, they had inexplicably fallen into a dreamscape without any prior warning. You two should leave first, otherwise when a fight breaks out later, I won't have the energy to protect you. Seeing the situation, Yi Yun and Yin Xiong realized they were not only useless here, but might even become a burden to Lin Jing. Without a second word, they boarded the flying boat and immediately steered it away. Throughout this process, Lin Jing kept his eyes fixed on the Moon Demon sect leader, ready for any sudden moves. And the Moon Demon sect leader was all too aware that the Lin Jing before him was the real threat, and he dared not let his guard down. As Ian left, the sect leader only glanced at them briefly, then paid them no more attention. Though the Moon Demon sect leader also wanted to keep them here, after all, it was related to the Enlightenment elixir, tied to his hopes of advancing to the divinity transformation stage. But Lin Jing's watchful eyes meant he dared not make a careless move. The Moon Demon sect leader stared at Lin Jing, his brow furrowed. Being reflected by the great dream ancient mirror and entering a dreamscape, you were the first to awaken prematurely without being startled. Once reflected upon by the great dream ancient mirror, a cultivator is pulled into a dreamscape. Those who are pulled in won't usually awaken prematurely without external stimuli. Additionally, the use of the great dream ancient mirror is also linked to the user's cultivation. Unless the one pulled into the dreamscape is much stronger than the user, it is impossible to wake up so quickly. The Moon Demon sect leader was at the nascent soul peak stage, and with the great dream ancient mirror, even a divine transformation cultivator pulled into the dreamscape wouldn't be able to escape prematurely, let alone Lin Jing, whose cultivation was even lower than the Moon Demon sect leaders, which was precisely why the sect leader was so shocked. And his attack, striking Lin Jing, had no effect. On the one hand, it was due to Lin Jing's body-refining achievements. On the other, it was the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe he bore. Though the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe might not compare to the great dream ancient mirror, it was still a rare and valuable magical treasure, whose defensive capabilities need not be further explained. Another thing was, before this, Lin Jing had already learned from Wei Zhongqing that the Moon Demon sect leader, although a demon cultivator, was not skilled in offensive techniques. Otherwise, armed with the magical treasure Great Dream Ancient Mirror, he wouldn't have any solutions against the divine transformation cultivator and would have had to flee. Lin Jing looked at the Moon Demon sect leader, his eyes now threaded with blood vessels, his body shrouded in surging black demonic qi. Furthermore, he currently held the Great Dream Ancient Mirror, which strangely gave off a feeling of natural harmony, as if he and the mirror were one. It was as though the standoff that had taken place before had never occurred. And moreover, in the blood-red eyes of the Moon Demon sect leader, there occasionally flashed a red demonic qi. Although very concealed, Lin Jing noticed it. Lin Jing couldn't help but frown. and then asked the Moon Demon sect leader opposite him, "Who are you at this moment?" The Moon Demon sect leader, or a remnant soul from the great dream, ancient mirror? As Lin Jing spoke, a flash of red light gleamed in the eyes of the Moon Demon sect leader, and his expression changed immediately. The Moon Demon sect leader now looked calm and regarded Lin Jing with interest. After sizing him up, the Moon Demon sect leader finally spoke. "Does it matter who I am?" As he spoke, the Moon Demon sect leader suddenly raised his hand, and then he lifted the great dream ancient mirror. A beam of light flared up, and it was about to shoot towards Lin Jing. Seeing this, Lin Jing quickly dodged. While dodging, Lin Jing took off the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe he wore and held it in front of him, intending to block the light emitted from the great dream ancient mirror. When Lin Jing removed the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe, a trace of confusion flashed in the blood-red eyes of the Moon Demon sect leader. But when he saw Lin Jing actually using the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe to shield himself, he let out a cold laugh. "Oomph! How overconfident! To dare dismiss your protective magical treasure at this time. You're truly seeking death." With that, he made his move. A stream of demonic chi burst from his hand, then transformed into a black dragon, attacking Lin Jing from another direction. But Lin Jing completely ignored the black dragon and controlled the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe, covering the great dream ancient mirror with it. Seeing Lin Jing's actions, the Moon Demon sect leader burst into mad laughter. "Ha ha! Your magical treasure. I'll take it." Then, the great dream ancient mirror exploded into a burst of intense light, which illuminated Lin Jing with no place to hide. Lin Jing was engulfed by this strong light and once again fell into a dream. In a daze, Lin Jing was awoken by a childish voice. "Uncle Lin, the sun has set. No more sleeping." Lin Jing opened his eyes and saw a childlike face, still somewhat groggy, and did not respond. "Uncle Lin, are you all right?" The childish voice sounded again. Hearing this voice, Lin Jing jerked awake. Only then did Lin Jing express his surprise. "Luo Luo, how long have I been asleep?" The person before him was indeed Luo Luo. "Uncle Lin, the sun has already set. Luo Luo is hungry." Lin Jing then got up and looked around. A room, a tree, and a small courtyard. Wasn't this the very first courtyard he rented when he descended from the mountain and came to Nanshan Market? Then, Lin Jing looked down at Luo Luo, who was gazing at him expectantly, and then said with a smile, "Just a moment, Luo Luo. I'll go make food for you now." "Okay." Luo Luo immediately brightened up, nodding again and again. "Warning! Danger is approaching the host. Please respond promptly." As the system warning sounded, the scenery in front of Lin Jing began to warp and blur, and Lin Jing also awoke from this dream once more. "Uncle Lin, what's wrong?" Seeing Lin Jing standing still, Luo Luo was puzzled. "Uncle is going to leave." Lin Jing turned his head, looking at the increasingly blurry image of Luo Luo. Upon hearing this, Luo Luo quickly stepped forward, grasping Lin Jing's clothes, looking at him anxiously. "Uncle Lin, where are you going? Did Luo Luo make you angry?" As he spoke, tears streamed uncontrollably from Luo Luo's eyes. "Luo Luo is not hungry anymore. I won't have Uncle Lin cook. Please don't leave Luo Luo behind. Okay." Drip, drip. The tears fell from Luo Luo's cheeks, dropping to the ground. Even though he knew this Luo Luo was not real, the sight still made Lin Jing's heart ache. Afterward, Lin Jing reached out, touched Luo Luo's head, and then said, "Luo Luo, one day, we'll meet again." As Lin Jing's voice fell, the dream shattered, and Lin Jing was fully awakened. When Lin Jing came to, the black dragon formed by demonic chi had already reached his face. Lin Jing then raised his hand, and even before his hand was fully lifted, several streams of Wu Kai flow light shot out from his hand, rushing towards the black dragon. The appearance of these streams of Wu Kai light was unexpected, as if Lin Jing was well prepared in advance. In fact, it was indeed so. As soon as the black dragon was released and Lin Jing entered the dream, he had already prepared in advance. Though the 5 elements divine art was interrupted by the dream, once the dream ended, due to his prior preparation, Lin Jing could quickly respond and recondense the Wu Kai flow light. The streams of Wu Kai flow light burst into the body of the black dragon, melting the black dragon entirely, dispersing it effectively. Because they were so close, even though the black dragon dispersed, some remnants of demonic qi scattered in front of Lin Jing. This scattered demonic qi did not dissipate immediately, but instead clustered around the exterior of Lin Jing's body, desperately trying to burrow into him. However, before all this, Lin Jing had already deployed the Overlord Divine Physique, covering his entire body in golden light, preventing the demonic qi from penetrating even the slightest bit, no matter how hard it tried. I didn't expect you to be a body refinement cultivator. At this moment, the voice of the Moon Demon Sect leader came. Lin Jing turned to look, only to see a smile on the Moon Demon Sect leader's face, along with red demonic qi condensing in his eyes as he looked at Lin Jing. Moreover, in his other hand, he was holding the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe that Lin Jing had just sacrificed. However, what does it matter if you are a body refinement cultivator? Your defensive artifact has already fallen into my hands. Next, I would like to see how you will block my following attack. Lin Jing, seeing the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe in the Moon Demon Sect leader's hand, didn't panic at all. Instead, the corners of his mouth curled up, revealing a hint of a smile. Seeing the smile on Lin Jing's face, the Moon Demon Sect leader suddenly frowned, a bad feeling instantly welling up in his heart. Just then, the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe in the Moon Demon Sect leader's hand suddenly began to move on its own, breaking free from his control. After breaking free, the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe unfolded and wrapped itself towards the great dream ancient mirror in the other hand of the Moon Demon Sect leader. The Moon Demon Sect leader thought he had acquired the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe, but all of this was part of Lin Jing's strategy. The heaven-concealing Qinquan robe had been sacrificed by the Puppet Guild leader using the blood refinement method, barely controlling its usage. After Lin Jing had obtained it, he sought out Qian, who then erased the traces of the blood refinement method. Afterwards, it was returned to Lin Jing. And Lin Jing had spent a long time refining the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe thoroughly after receiving it. The Moon Demon Sect leader was careless, probably thinking that the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe was just a high-grade defensive artifact. But he never expected that the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe had other functions. Quickly, the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe enveloped and wrapped around the great dream ancient mirror. Meanwhile, Lin Jing seized this opportunity to burst forth at high speed, rushing towards the Moon Demon Sect leader. The great dream ancient mirror was of too high a grade, and Lin Jing was uncertain how long the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe could disable it. Therefore, Lin Jing had to grab it before the great dream ancient mirror could regain function. However, once the great dream ancient mirror was wrapped by the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe, the Moon Demon Sect leader suddenly became motionless, as if his soul had been abruptly extracted, showing no reaction whatsoever. Seeing this, Lin Jing somewhat understood why he acted this way, but his hand showed no mercy. As Lin Jing reached the Moon Demon Sect leader, he grabbed the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe wrapped around the great dream ancient mirror with one hand, while his other hand struck towards the Moon Demon Sect leader. The Moon Demon Sect leader spat out blood and flew backwards from Lin Jing's palm strike, while Lin Jing already had both the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe and the great dream ancient mirror in his hands. But at that moment, Lin Jing realized something was wrong. No sooner had the great dream ancient mirror come into his possession than a stream of demonic qi started traveling up his arm, heading towards his sea of consciousness. This demonic qi was extremely peculiar. Even the Overlord Divine Physique couldn't stop the invasion. At the same time, another voice echoed in Lin Jing's ear. How marvelous! Such a strong body should be mine. This demonic sound caused Lin Jing to become momentarily dazed, but he quickly came to his senses, concentrating his mind and snapping out of it. Lin Jing knew this was the remnant soul in the ancient mirror. At this time, the Moon Demon sect leader, who had been sent flying, was completely sober. Once he regained consciousness, even his bloodshot eyes began to clear. After waking up, the Moon Demon sect leader quickly stopped his retreat, wiped the blood from his mouth, then looked at Lin Jing and laughed heartily. Ha ha! I've finally rid myself of that damned remnant soul. Then, he looked sincerely at Lin Jing and said, "In that case, I must thank you. Had you not forcibly taken the great dream, ancient mirror, the one possessed would probably have been me." After speaking, he glanced at the great dream, ancient mirror wrapped in the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe held by Lin Jing and spat. "Ha! What great dream, ancient mirror! It's nothing but a trap." At that moment, the strand of red demonic chi had already approached Lin Jing's sea of consciousness, attempting to invade. Lin Jing's eyes turned blood red, with the red demonic chi flickering in his eyes at that moment. Lin Jing raised his head to look at the Moon Demon sect leader. Seeing the flash of red demonic chi in Lin Jing's eyes, the Moon Demon sect leader became immediately alert. Lin Jing said nothing and clutched the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe, pulling out the great dream, ancient mirror inside it, and charged toward the Moon Demon sect leader. Seeing this, the Moon Demon sect leader shuddered, then turned and flew away. The Moon Demon sect leader, a nascent soul peak stage cultivator, was actually scared off directly by Lin Jing. Of course, what he actually feared was not Lin Jing, but the remnant soul in the mirror. Compared to treasures, we cherish our own little lives more. We'll meet again, if fate allows. After the Moon Demon sect leader had run far away, his voice still carried from a distance. After the Moon Demon sect leader left, the remnant soul's voice once again rang in Lin Jing's ears. "Give up. You are merely a nascent soul cultivator. How could you be my match? Don't worry, I won't possess your body. I will slowly merge into your consciousness, assimilate you, and eventually you will completely become me. You should be grateful to me. Only I can take you to greater heights. Solidifying body, union, tribulation, Mahayana, until becoming an immortal. It is you, as well as me." Faced with the remnant soul that was eroding his own consciousness, Lin Jing did not panic, but directly spoke up, asking the remnant soul, "Are you afraid of death?" The remnant soul paused for a moment, then said directly, "Afraid? How could I not be? If it weren't for fear of death, why would I, a proud cultivator of the solidifying body realm, lie dormant as a remnant soul atop the great dream, ancient mirror for tens of thousands of years? Perhaps I should have died long ago, but I just can't reconcile myself to it. I can't die. I know they want me dead, but I refuse to die. No matter how difficult it is, I must persist on, and live once more." Perhaps having touched the sore spot of the remnant soul, it spoke many words in one breath. After speaking, it laughed viciously again. "But you're going to die soon. Just don't know if you're afraid." Lin Jing let out a light sigh, and then said, as if answering, and yet more like talking to himself, "Perhaps I am afraid, though I have already died once." "What? Died once? What do you mean?" the remnant soul asked, somewhat puzzled, and hastily asked. However, the only response was, "Intersystem space." Lin Jing's words left the remnant soul even more confused. Intersystem space? What does that mean? What is system space? Following that, the scene in front of Lin Jing changed, and then he appeared inside the system space. Appearing in the system space with Lin Jing was the great dream, ancient mirror, as well as the remnant soul within the great dream, ancient mirror. Just as he entered the system space, a system warning voice has already come. "Warning! An external, special, spiritual body has invaded the system space. Eradicate immediately." This? What is this? A small world, The remnant soul from the great dream, ancient mirror, was still not reacting, lost in its confusion. However, after the system alert came through, the remnant soul screamed out loud. No, this isn't right. What is this? What kind of power is this? Don't. Along with the last scream, the remnant soul vanished, and with it, the demonic chi dissipated. Lin Jing thus returned to normal. Next, Lin Jing put away the heaven-concealing Qinquan robe, picked up the great dream, ancient mirror, and examined it carefully. Now, with the remnant soul dissipated from the ancient mirror, the great dream, ancient mirror was still the same, without any change. After observing for a while, Lin Jing did not discover anything. Then, Lin Jing went to the alchemy room and hung up the great dream, ancient mirror on the wall of the alchemy room. Following that, he left the system space,